In today's video, we're diving into one of the most powerful features of Kubernetes, autoscaling. Whether you're building a microservice or running large-scale workloads, autoscaling helps optimize performance, cost, and reliability. So let's break down the three types of autoscaling: horizontal pod autoscaler, vertical pod autoscaler, and cluster autoscaler, and see how they work together to make your Kubernetes cluster smart and efficient. The first type is the horizontal pod autoscaler, HPA. Imagine you have a web app getting lots of traffic during the day and very little at night. HPA helps your application handle this by automatically increasing or decreasing the number of pods based on CPU, memory, or custom metrics. So how does it work? The HPA controller constantly checks metrics from the Kubernetes metrics server. If CPU usage goes above the set target, let's say 50%, it spins up more pods. When demand drops, it scales down to save resources and cost, benefits, handles traffic spikes automatically, improves performance and availability, saves money by scaling down when idle, challenges, needs a properly configured metrics server, may have delay during sudden spikes, setting custom metrics can be tricky. Now let's talk about the vertical pod autoscaler, VPA. Instead of changing the number of pods, it adjusts the CPU and memory allocated to each pod. Think of it as a smart nutritionist for your application. It decides how much CPU and RAM your pod needs based on usage history. VPA works in three modes: off, just gives recommendations; auto, automatically applies them and restarts pods if needed; initial, applies only at pod creation. Benefits of VPA: prevents over and under provisioning, reduces resource wastage, improves app performance. With optimized sizing, challenges: evictions may cause brief downtime, not ideal when used with HPA simultaneously, works best when pods have consistent resource patterns. Alright, we've scaled pods horizontally and vertically. Now let's go one layer deeper. Cluster autoscaler. This component adjusts the number of worker nodes in your cluster based on overall resource needs. Here is how it works. If a pod can't be scheduled due to lack of resources, it provisions a new node. If a node is underutilized and workloads can move elsewhere, it deletes the idle node. Cluster autoscaler supports major cloud providers like AWS, GCP, Azure, and more. Key benefits: automatically adjusts cluster size, optimizes cost by terminating idle nodes, works great in dynamic cloud-native environments. Limitations: scaling up takes time, node creation isn't instant, heavily depends on cloud provider APIs, requires careful configuration. Let's quickly recap everything we covered. Horizontal pod autoscaler, HPA, dynamically adjusts the number of pods based on metrics like CPU or memory utilization to handle changing workloads efficiently. Vertical pod autoscaler, VPA, automatically adjusts the CPU and memory requests limits for individual pods, ensuring optimal resource allocation and reducing wastage. Cluster autoscaler adds or removes worker nodes in a Kubernetes cluster based on pending pods and underutilized nodes, optimizing cluster-level resource usage. Autoscaling improves performance and cost efficiency by ensuring applications scale during peak loads and shrink during idle times, minimizing resource over-provisioning. Each autoscaler has its strengths and limitations, and careful configuration is required to avoid conflicts, especially when using HPA and VPA together. Combined use of HPA, VPA, and cluster autoscaler creates a fully automated, responsive, and scalable Kubernetes environment tailored to workload demands. Practice exercise. What is the primary purpose of the horizontal pod autoscaler, HPA, in Kubernetes? The horizontal pod autoscaler, HPA, automatically adjusts the number of pod replicas based on CPU or memory usage.